Hello, I'm just going to hang about a second and see if anyone shows up today. I know a lot of people have been watching this live on replay on my YouTube channel and on Facebook/City Natural Therapies. I've been asked today if Therapy Cat will make a star appearance. So just let me show you. I don't know if you can see him over there. He's just having a wee sleep. He had been a bit clingy today and had a little vomit, so that's enough in cat news. Okay, so it is Friday, the 20th of March, and here we are. Some of you have had your first full week of working from home. How is it going? How did you find it? Did you have a slump day? Did you start off really well-intentioned and things went off-piste, or did it get better as it went along? Today I've got a couple of things I'm going to talk about, and the first thing I'm going to talk about today is I was talking to friends earlier, and can I say what I am loving about these uncertain times is that I'm finding a lot of friends far and wide are connecting. And, you know, so it's really lovely to FaceTime friends in London more frequently than we usually do. But another good Virgo showed me his hands, and his knuckles were really, really red. And I've seen a few clients have also mentioned this, that while we've been busy scrubbing our hands and hand sanitizing, people who are a bit prone to eczema or dermatitis, or those who are just being so wonderfully zealous with the hygiene, are finding they're getting some redness, maybe some chafed skin and some dermatitis. Now, it's not a case of washing your hands less, but perhaps think about using a barrier cream or ointment of some kind. So wash your hands. Look, I personally think that washing with a mild soap versus overusing the alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Keep the hand sanitizers for when you're out, but wash your hands at home when you get home, and then maybe just put a kind of a nice barrier on them. Just found a very old tube of pawpaw ointment. Pawpaw ointment, you know, petrochemical Vaseline if you need to, any kind of baby nappy rash barrier cream. Now, if you do that, your hands are going to be a bit sticky afterwards, and that's the really good thing. You've just washed your hands, and you don't want to touch the screen. So it's going to take a little while for that to soak in, so you can have some screen-free time. I know Narelle's just hopped on the live, and I've already shown Therapy Cat earlier. I was just saying Therapy Cat has had a bit of a tired and emotional morning, and he's having a bit of a sleep now. So just, yeah, because I'm seeing so many pictures of hands, just, you know, keep the alcohol sanitizer for when you're out, if you can get a hold of it. I am going to have a go at making my own hand sanitizer. I've got a little bit of what we call that herbalist special alcohol, that 95+ percent medicinal ethanol. And I have some aloe vera growing in my garden that's mature. If you want to use hand sanitizer stuff, I'm going to talk about the aloe vera and things next time. But today I'm just going to wrap up the week and talk about the end of the week ritual. So as some of you know, I have been largely working from home for these past 6 years. And we're almost at the end of my working week. I finish usually about 1:30 and have Friday afternoon off. So what's my end of the working week, and what are some rituals that might work for you? So the first thing I do, this is of course in my ideal world, when I'm being conscious, and let's kind of be honest, it's a bit like making your bed in the morning. I love it as an ideal, and I think it's a really good habit to get into, but I don't always have 100% strike rate. So my end of the week ritual is to tidy my desk and my room, and I'm just kind of looking at this nice little screen grab at the moment and going, yeah, actually, I'm not going to show you what's here and here. But so tidy up, put anything away, shut the computer down. Now, some of you who are new to working from home, maybe working in a corner of your bedroom or the lounge, You may have had to rearrange a bit of furniture. So I'd really encourage you that when the end of your working week comes, it's a really good time to turn your space back into what it is for non-working time. If some of you have had a really tough week, if you're kind of juggling the rest of the family or other people in your house, it's kind of really, really nice to say, okay, this is weekend time now. The space is for recreation. The other things I like to do is water the plants. So I will take, if I've got plants that are up on shelves and things like that, put them down on my dispensary table, give them a water. If you're a maidenhair fern person, I'll pick out any dead fronds, I'll give them a bit of love, give them a bit of a spray. And that's, I'd actually like to start the week, we'd start the week with cleaning the room, because it's a bit of an old dusty house, but sometimes I'll give things a bit of a clean, but mostly it's about a tidy and a put away. In summer, I then like to go to the beach and go for a swim. Not going to happen today, but having an end of the week ritual, preferably something that doesn't involve alcohol, because we know alcohol doesn't necessarily do good things for your immune system if you're trying to keep your immune system working pretty well at the moment. But having an end of the week ritual, whether it's making a nice cup of herbal tea, going for a walk if you're finishing in daylight, but doing something to close down the space. If anyone's got any end of the week rituals that they'd like to share, please share them with me. But let's delineate our space. It's the end of the week, shut down that computer. So keeping it short and snappy today, we've covered a lot of different topics this week, and they're all, if you are looking for these videos, if you're new to this, I'm not not even a medicinal G&T. Look, everything in moderation. If we were doing show and tell, I actually have two talking about using medicinal products. I, in October, November and mulberry season, made a very strong ethanol extract of mulberries, and I'm thinking about using that as a medicine now, because it's quite a bit of talk in our herbal communities about elderberry and mulberry being an alternative. It's a dark berry. Any dark berries are going to have goodies in them for you. But the other thing that I made with some nice vodka is lemon balm. So I've got a really lovely lemon balm. Well, it's a tincture, you could say. The trick, if you are going to play along at home and make a lemon balm extract, is I actually followed Heidi Swanson's recipe, and she said it's really, really important, I think, to not leave it for more than about 16 hours. And talking to other herbalist friends who've left it for a day or two, found it went quite bitter. This has been really good. So, you know, if you do want to have a herbal drink, then maybe you want to get creative if you've got any herbs on hand. Of course, if you've never tinctured anything before, maybe get a little bit of advice before you start to play around with alcohol at home. I'm just looking at the other comments that I've had too. Yes, about that it's so important to protect the hand-skin barrier. This is where I started today, so I've got a little bit off track. So I've actually got more people making comments, which is fantastic. So I was talking about using, after you've washed and dried your hands, and trying not to use the hand sanitizer with the alcohol, which is what we need to do to make them sanitized. Only when you're out, just put your barrier, like your paw cream or even Vaseline or Nappy Rash cream, and then your hands are sticky, you're not touching anything. So the other thing that I was going to mention is that if you do have some herbal products, such as if it's itchy, if it's kind of triggered an eczema on your hands, to use some a chickweed based product, if you can find a chickweed gel or cream or ointment, or if it's just kind of red and sore, I like lovely calendula based products as well. So all over the place today. And I was going to recap on what we've talked about this week. We kind of started off the week talking about what it's like from working at home. We talked about lunches and meals and routines. We also talked about, yesterday, we talked about that as this public health emergency evolves, I was actually noticing how I was reacting to a grief cycle, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's kind of scaffold of stages of grief, which I always say is imperfect but really interesting, and how I found I was getting angry at something that really didn't warrant me getting angry, and to watch out for that in others. So everything's on my YouTube channel. I'm really Googleable. There's not many Jill Stannards with a G who are naturopaths in the world. And if you're looking for them on Facebook at the moment, they might be under videos if they're not coming up in the timeline. So have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Tell me about your end of the week ritual. And I'm going to be back again on Monday. I will be here at 1 o'clock Australian Eastern Summertime, which is 3 o'clock in New Zealand, because I can see at least one Kiwi on today. And we don't go into daylight saving until the 5th of April. Have a fab weekend. Stay well. Send me a question. Oh, got one more question. Fresh lemon balm. Sorry, yeah, Narelle asked me, fellow wonderful naturopath, when I talked about, when she took me on off track with the G&T and the alcohol end of the week rituals, which I say we're trying not to do. But yes, for tincturing lemon balm is an antiviral. Now, of course, nothing is ever evidence-based for a brand new virus, and everything is about quality and dose and strength. But the lemon balm that I did just tincture with vodka, a few months ago now, before the beginning of summer, was fresh lemon balm. Absolutely, there's quite a difference in quality between fresh and dried lemon balm. I love drinking lemon balm tea. It really does grow like a weed. It is one of our medicinal weeds. It just grew like crazy in Melbourne and here in Sydney. I don't know how it grows in New Zealand. I'll put some photos in the comments of what the lemon balm looks like. Of course, if you're going to play with herbs at home, always check that you've identified them correctly. So on that note, as I was saying, have a fab weekend. I'll see you at lunchtime on Monday, and just checking in, building community, keeping connected while we're living in interesting times. See you soon, and welcome to send me a comment or any questions about what you'd like me to talk about. When we talk about herbal things, I'm always happy to do that as well. But just lovely general lifestyle. Obviously, we don't have an answer to this current epidemic or pandemic, but each and every one of us is doing what we can to have a healthy immune system and be happy and as sane as possible through this process. See you soon. Bye.